Well, as I said, when there's inflation, prices go up. And if you own the things that go up in price, whether it's sugar or silver or whatever, you usually will make money, or you certainly will protect yourself. So the best opportunities I see are in real assets. Also, though, whenever you have a big disaster, it usually leads to opportunities. For instance, right now, travel and tourism and entertainment are all demolished in many countries, and there are probably opportunities there developing I bought Chinese wine stocks recently because people stopped going out. They stopped going to restaurants, stopped going to bars. So maybe there's an opportunity there. Often when there is a disaster, it does lead to an opportunity. Well, I said bonds are the biggest bubble they've ever been. That's not an opportunity. Commodities are very cheap. Silver's down 60%. Didn't you hear what I said? This is an opportunity. Bonds are not an opportunity. Maybe I'm not making myself clear. Some markets are certainly great opportunities. Some are not. Well, I am not selling anything yet, and I'm not selling short anything yet. I see bubbles starting to develop, but at the moment, it doesn't look like we're in enough of a bubble, maybe bonds, but nothing else for me to sell short yet. Many stocks in the US, which is the biggest market, are not up a lot. Some are in a clear bubble, but many stocks this year are down, or last year were down in 2021. So it's not a full-fledged bubble yet, but it looks like it's going to develop into a full-fledged bubble, at which point I'll have to sell, and I'll start selling short. I hope I'm smart enough. I think what you need to do is to watch the desire to trade to figure out when it's time to sell the bubble. I don't know. Bubbles usually ruin two kinds of people. They ruin the skeptics first, the people who say this is a bubble and it's crazy. Then they get ruined. And then the people who believe in the bubble get ruined, because then the bubble eventually collapses and they lose everything because they thought it was real. So I don't know. I'm not very good at market timing. I have been around bubbles before. I have sold bubbles. I have shorted bubbles. But bubbles can be very, very confusing. But when bubbles come, everything collapses, or nearly everything, not everything. Most things disappear. In the let's use 1999, that was a recent bubble in the US. It was the dot-com bubble. Many of the dot-com stocks, which were not real companies, some of them, totally collapsed and disappeared. Some survived and did well. Amazon is now a great success. But if you shorted at Amazon in that bubble, you would have made a lot of money for a while. But it is a company which went on to become a great success. Usually, there's always somebody that survives, but most bubble stocks disappear. I told you, watch the desire to trade. Always somebody who will survive. You look at their balance sheets, you look at their business, you look at the competition, you look at the people, are the people smart people? No, it's the same thing that you would look at when you're trying to decide on any investment. It's exactly the same thing. It's more difficult in a bubble because usually there's a lot more competition in a bubble. Many new companies start up, and you have to decide which ones are really sound. But it's the same thing. Investing is pretty much the same always. I didn't say it was easy. I just said it's pretty much the same. Experience is a great teacher. I've learned a lot from my mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes in my life. I anyway, learned more from my mistakes than I learned from my successes. Successes make you feel like you know what you're doing. They make you think you're smart. Mistakes show you that you're not smart, and you better learn from your mistakes. I have certainly made plenty of mistakes in my life, and hopefully I will continue to learn from my mistakes. Well, that's one advantage experience gives you. I've seen all this before, and often after a long bull market, after a few years, a lot of new people come in, often inexperienced people, often young people, and you hear them, they're all saying, oh my gosh, there's this new thing. Let me tell you about the stock market. And it's fun. And you can make a lot of money. And it's easy. It's easy. It always happens at the end of a long bull market. It's happening again. As I said, when you have experience, you know what's going, you recognize these things, and it always ends very badly. Every big bull market that turns into a bubble with lots of new inexperienced players, it always ends badly, always has throughout history, and this one will end badly too.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.